Infosys, TCS, Accenture, Cognizant or Wipro. The company may change, but the HR questions you face as a fresher are often very similar. Most freshers already know these questions like tell me about yourself or why should we hire you. The problem is not knowing these questions, but not knowing what to actually say. In this video, I will take you through 18 common HR interview questions that are asked in every interview. And trust me, if you practice these before your interview, then you will walk in much more confidently. So let's begin. Question 1. Tell me about yourself. This is probably the most common question you will get. And one mistake you should avoid is simply reading your resume. So instead, use this simple present, past, future structure. Present, who are you right now? Your degree, your specialization, and your current status. Past, what have you done? Mention 1 or 2 projects, achievements, or experiences. Future, what are you looking for next? And then connect it to the role you are applying for. Here's a sample answer. I'm currently a final year BTech student in computer science from mention your college name. Over the past 4 years, I have developed a strong interest in software development. I've also worked on projects like name some of your projects where I build. Give a brief description of those projects. I'm someone who enjoys problem solving and working in teams. That's why I'm interested in this role at Infosys, where I can apply my skills to real projects and continue learning. That's it. Keep it around 60 to 90 seconds and make sure it sounds like you are talking and not memorizing. And I have also put an AI prompt on screen that you can use to create your own answer. Question 2. Walk me through your resume. Now this sounds similar to the first question, but there is a difference. Here the interviewer wants you to actually walk them through your resume. So go in order. Start with your education, then talk about your projects, internships, certification, and other relevant experiences. Keep it factual and brief. Question 3. What do you know about our company? This is where the interviewer can quickly figure out whether you have actually researched the company or not. You do not need to remember every number perfectly. Just know these 5 things. When was the company founded and who founded it? Who is the current CEO? Roughly how big is the company? What are its main businesses or products? What's something recent about the company? Here the important thing is to show the interviewer that you have done your homework. Now question 4. Why should we hire you? Don't answer this by simply saying I am hardworking, passionate, and a quick learner. Every candidate says that. Instead, connect your skill, proof, and value to the company. For example, I have strong analytical skills which I demonstrated through my final year project where I built a data analysis tool that reduced manual processing time by 40%. I am also comfortable learning new technologies quickly. I believe these skills will help me contribute effectively to client projects. Question 5. Why do you want to work in a service-based company instead of a product company? Now be a little careful with this one. Definitely don't say, I couldn't get into product company, so I'm trying here. Instead, talk about what genuinely attracts you to service-based companies. For example, you get exposure to different industries and technologies. You get to work with global clients. You can work on different types of business problems. Many companies have structured training programs for freshers. You get the opportunity to work at a large scale. Pick the point that genuinely matter to you and explain them naturally. Question 6. Why did you apply to this company specifically? A generic answer like because it is a good company will not give you a job. You have to make it specific to them. Personalize your answer for whichever company you are actually interviewing with. If it is Infosys, you could mention their learning platform, Infosys Springboard, or their reputation in digital transformation. Or if it is TCS, then talk about their scale, TCS icon, or their global presence. For Accenture, highlight their consulting plus technology model. Or IBM, then mention their leadership in AI, hybrid cloud, and enterprise innovation. Question 7. Where do you see yourself in next 5 years? Now keep it realistic. The interviewer is not expecting you to predict your entire life. They mainly want you to know whether you have a direction. A simple answer could be, over the next 5 years, I want to grow technically and move from an entry-level role to an ownership of larger projects or modules. I would also like to build expertise in a specific domain and eventually take on more client-facing or leadership responsibilities. Question 8. Tell me about a time you have worked in a team. Now here, pick a genuine example from your own life. It could be a college project, a hackathon, even a fest committee you were a part of. And focus less on I did this and I did that, and more on how you worked with the team. You can also use this AI prompt to structure your answer. You can take a screenshot of this or save the video. Question 9. Describe a conflict you had with a team member and how you resolved it. Here the interviewer is really checking your maturity and communication skill. So don't spend the answer complaining about the other person. Structure your answer around what caused the disagreement, how you approach the conversation calmly, and how it was resolved. Ideally, ending on a positive outcome or a lesson you took away from it would be a good idea. Question 10. Tell me about a time you failed. Please do not say I have never failed. That instantly sounds fake, and honestly, it is a red flag for how self-aware you are. Instead, choose a genuine but a manageable example, maybe a project that didn't go well as planned, you missed a deadline, or you didn't perform well in something. Spend more time talking about what you learned and what you would do differently today. Question 11. How do you handle pressure or tight deadlines? Give a real example like exam season, a project submission, a part-time job, or anything genuine. Then talk about your actual coping mechanism, how you prioritize your tasks, break work into smaller chunks, and communicate proactively if you sense a deadline is at risk. Now, the next few questions are also based on your personal experience. So I will not give you generic sample answers for each one. But if you want sample answers, then comment sample below, I will reply. Question 12. How do you handle negative feedback? This question is mainly checking whether you are open to feedback, because you will be getting feedback constantly from seniors and clients. So don't say, I don't like negative feedbacks. Instead, give a small real example. Talk about a time someone gave you a feedback, what you changed because of it, and what improved as a result. Question 13. Are you willing to relocate? Unless you have a genuinely strong constraint, your safe answer here is yes. These companies place freshers based on their project requirements. So if you do not have a real constraint, mention it honestly, but still show flexibility wherever you can. Question 14. Are you comfortable working in shifts, night shifts? You will hear this a lot if you are interviewing with companies that work with US or European clients like IBM, Accenture, or Cognizant. Again, the expected answer from you is yes. If you are genuinely unable to, then be honest about it, but understand it may limit which projects you get placed on. Question 15. What is your expected salary? Or are you okay with the offered package? As a fresher, many companies already have a structured compensation package. So instead of throwing out a random number, you can say, I understand that the company has a structured compensation policy for freshers, and I'm comfortable with the offered package. At this stage, I am more focused on learning and gaining experience and growing in the role. Question 16. Do you have any offers from other companies? The most important thing here is to be honest. Do not create a fake offer just to negotiate. If you do have another offer, you can say something like, I do have another offer in process, but I'm genuinely interested in this role because of your specific reason. Question 17. Why did you have a gap year, backlog, or such low percentage? Do not panic if you get this question, and do not spend 5 minutes defending yourself. Just explain the genuine reason briefly. It could be a personal situation, a family reason, a project you are working on, or a simply an academic setback. Then quickly move on to what did you do after that, what did you learn, and how did you improve. Question 18. Any questions do you have for us? And please do not say no immediately. Some good questions you can ask here are, what does the typical career growth plan look like for someone joining in this role? Or what kind of training or onboarding programs does the company provide for new joiners? What do you personally enjoy most about working here? Try to avoid questions about salary, leave policy, or work from home at this stage. Save those for a dedicated HR discussion round if that comes up separately. So those were the 18 HR interview questions that you should definitely prepare before your next fresher interview. But do not just watch this video and move on. Here is your homework. First, pick any 5 questions from this video, write your own answers, and then practice saying them out loud. And if possible, record yourself and watch the recording once. And if you want a part 2 with HR questions for consulting companies like EY, BCG, or others, then comment part 2 below. I can also make a video on technical interview questions for freshers, so let me know. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Till then, all the best.